Okay, welcome to 2021 and your guide to planning a meaningful custom year for yourself. Welcome Judy and Ainwa and Asmara and Jane and Lindsay and Kate and Sunil. Just delighted to have you all here. Christina's joining us. Just if I could ask you please to put in the chat if you can see me and hear me okay. Just pop that in the chat. Thanks, Lindsay. Welcome. I hope wherever this finds you in the world that you are starting to put 2020 behind you and that you are welcoming in 2021. So let's get going for the very first Learning and Development Roundtable of 2021. I'm so delighted that you've joined us. So welcome. Just a really, really quick note. I am coming to you from Nairobi, Kenya, and occasionally you may hear what sounds like a squealing greased pig, but is actually an ibis flying overhead. So if you hear that noise, just disregard. And also note that if our power goes down, I will be back online quickly. And just, knock on wood that doesn't happen, but just to note that is a possibility. So Christina is joining us. Welcome, welcome. Okay. And Dina is joining us. So let's get started. Welcome. I love this welcome sign that I cut out from the newspaper many, many years ago. So welcome, single, twice divorced, under 30, gay, filthy rich, poor as dirt, can't sing, married with pets, older than God, workaholic, bad speller, screaming babies, significant others, passive aggressive, obsessive compulsive, tourist seekers, doubters, bleeding hearts, O and you. So however you come to be with us today, you've carved out this time to plan a wonderful year for yourself. So know that you are most welcome. A couple of things here as we get going. What does it mean to be part of this community? Because whether this is your first Learning and Development Roundtable or your 31st, you are part of a supportive community that's focused on learning. And you're also, as someone who's focused on learning, we're acknowledging that we need to receive help and support and learning. And that we also have lots to offer. So please feel free to receive and also to give here in this at this community. Okay, and Hilda's joining us. Welcome, Hilda. And I love this quote by Jane Bozarth. The purpose of instruction is to support gain, not expose inadequacy. So we're really here focused on assets and building on our amazing strengths that we all have. Okay, so our plan for today is to really look at how to create a really great plan for yourself for 2021. And that it's really custom and tailored for you, and to really kind of drop those dreary have to, must do's and really incorporate and build on your strengths. And we will be using a tool called Life Lenses, which is a tool that I've designed. And I'm hoping at the end that you're going to feel refreshed and invigorated and on track for a year that fits you. Okay, so a little bit about me before I turn it over to you. I'd love to know in the chat, welcome Joyce. Joyce is just joining us. Let me know, these are 3 things about myself, and I'd love to know which one of these things is a wish. So 2 of these are true, and 1 of these is a wish. So which one do you think? Pop in the chat. Number 1, 2, or 3 is the wish. So number 1, my 2021 plan includes playing the keyboard. Okay. Number 2, Life Lenses, the tool that we're using today. You can purchase that on my website. And number 3, I'm clearing 3 things of clutter every single day of this year. So Lindsay's saying number 3 is the wish. Just pop in the chat. Which one of those things do you think is the wish? 2 are true and 1 is a wish. So which one do you think? So Marco's saying number 2 is the wish. Okay. Anyone else? Grateful is joining us. Pippa's saying number 1. Kirsten saying number 3. Got lots of number 3s. Asmara's saying number 1. Dina's, Judy number 1. Hilda number 3. Okay, Evelyn number 1. Okay, so number 1 is true. I don't even want to tell you how much screen time I've been having in Netflix in the evening. So I decided enough is enough. I bought a keyboard. I'm using the most amazing app that actually listens to what I'm playing and tells me if it's right or not. So that's part of my learning plan for 2021. So that's true, which I'm really proud and excited to say. Sarah and Hohet are joining us. And by the way, pardon me if I am mispronouncing your name. Number 2 is the wish. So number 2 is the wish. So very, very soon, you will be able to purchase Life Lenses from my website, but it's not quite ready yet. So that's the wish. And number 3, yes. Every single day so far of 2021, I have cleared at least 3 items of clutter from my home, and I'm using the most amazing app called, let me just make sure I get the name, 1SE. It's a free app, 1SE, and I take a picture every day and it's going to create this movie. So it's a free app that creates kind of a looking back on your year. So feel free to look that up if that's interesting for you. So that's a little bit about me. Malcolm, welcome, and Eunice, welcome. Okay, so a little bit more about me before I turn it over to you. I really focus on all things learning, and the 3 particular things I focus on is working together. So I work with teams to help them communicate and resolve conflict, for example. I also work with organizations and teams to help them with tech tools for ease and efficiency. And then I work with subject matter experts to help them learn how to design and deliver really great learning workshops and such. So that's a bit about me. Okay, so over to you. It's your turn. Welcome, Kennedy. So nice to see you here. Welcome, welcome. So I would love it if you, just for a moment, feel free to unmute and say hello and welcome in your native language. And if you have more than 1 languages, feel free to say both or pick one. So feel free to unmute on the count of 3 and say hello to everyone. So 1, 2, 3, everyone feel free to unmute.
Hello.
Jumbo.
Karibu.
Buenos días.
I hear Jumbo.
Hello.
I hear a hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Nice.
Karibu.
Bom dia, sejam bem-vindos.
Was that Italian, I think, maybe?
No, it's
Lovely.
Portuguese.
Portuguese. Lovely. Oh, welcome, everyone. Okay, and then feel free to put in the chat, where are you coming to us from? So where are you right now? Which country or city or town? Feel free to pop that in the chat. Oh, so Lindsay's in Baghdad. We've got France, Nairobi, Spain. Great. Nairobi, Nigeria. Oh, fantastic. Poland, Warsaw, Poland. Wow. France. Hi, Pippa from France. Panama from Marco. Oh, 2 a.m. Marco. Oh my goodness. It's 2 a.m. trying not to sleep. My goodness. Talk about motivation. Dadaab, James. Wow. Greece, Addis, Ethiopia, Uganda. Oh, so grateful that you're here. I'd also love to know, what is something that you want to let go of from 2020? What's something that you want to let go of? 2020 is over. What do you want to let go of? One of the things for me that, I'll just pop this in the chat here. What do you want to let go of from 2020? For me, it's clutter. I'm really, as I mentioned, I'm really focusing a lot on mental clutter, physical clutter, all those kinds of things. What's something you want to let go of from 2020? Any ideas there? Worry, homeschool. Oh, Kirsten, I hear you. Yeah. Procrastination and clutter. Excess screen, says James. Ad hoc engagement, says Jared. Procrastinations. Oh, yeah. I'm doing some. So next month, I'll tell you more about this. But some of these things I'm going to be talking about, habits and procrastination and stuff. Watching too much news, says Lindsay. Yeah. People pleasing. Oh my goodness, what a great one. Okay, worry, says Sarah. Procrastination and negative thoughts, says Jana. Inertia, waiting for COVID. Oh yes, waiting for it to be over. Malcolm, hi Malcolm, says unnecessary meetings. Hahette says clutter. Insecurities, says Natalia. Feeling of being stuck, taking on too much responsibility, says Dina. And Andrej, excess working hours from home office, says Marco. Oh yes. And Peppa waiting, yeah, Peppa waiting for COVID to end and social media, absolutely. Okay, and I'd love to know, why are you here with us today? Just popping this. What are you hoping to get out of today? And by the way, I just want to do a really quick check. On your screen, can you only see me or can you see other people? I just want to make sure that I'm recording properly. Can you only see my picture? Or can you see others? Just let me know in the chat there, please. Just you, okay, Kate, oh, thank you, great, okay. It just helps for the recording. Okay, so Marco, I don't know where to start and January's almost over. Oh, okay, and Asset, pat yourself on the back. Marco, it's, it's I think for you it was 2 o'clock in the morning, so take a deep breath. You're here. I'm going to give you lots of tools to plan. Actionable tools. Oh, I've got so many good ones. So lots of tools. I will share all of these with you. Anything else? Oh, and Pip is saying to have an actual plan that will help me move forward on ideas I have. Yes. Oh, James, you're saying you can see 2 videos. Oh, why would Kate just say just me and, that's strange. Okay. Okay, and Mary's joining us. Okay, any other? So actionable, how to start, a plan, anything else that you're looking for today? Just let me know. Oh, Kate saying your video on the screen. Okay, oh, perfect. Okay, good. Okay, great. Well, I'm hoping to make all of those realistic. At least that's how I've planned the workshop. So let's dive into really quickly, just some really quick housekeeping issues here to help you get the most out of your, so to help you get the most out of this workshop, please participate. Make sure that you ask questions. There is so much wisdom in this group. So please make sure to use the chat, give ideas, give suggestions, what's worked for you. Beatrice is saying insights. Yeah, make sure to share your insights and your suggestions. I really want this to be a collaborative space. And also know that we are recording. So those of you who are Learning and Development Roundtable members, you'll get access to all these resources. You'll get an audio recording and a video recording. You'll get the PowerPoint, all the tools that I'm talking about. So number 2, if you are a UN staff, make sure that you sign the attendance sheet, and that link is on the agenda. That's how this gets counted towards your UN mandated training. If you're not a UN staff, you can ignore this one. Natalia's saying to learn how to plan. I seem to be floating a bit. Okay, great. And someone else is saying to lose weight and quit consultancy. Okay, great. There's so many good goals here. This is great, or reasons rather. And again, only Roundtable members get these resources. So make sure that you have signed up and become a member. That's what that screen looks like. That sign up is in the agenda, in your agenda link, and I'll also share it at the end of our workshop today. And please, 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 can you also share the link with 2 other people? I would love, 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 that's one of my goals this year, is to really grow this community. So please make a note. Oh, someone's saying I got cut. Am I back now? Can you hear? Is it okay? Okay, great. So I'll just quickly go back. Only members get the roundtable resources. So make sure that you sign up. That's really, really important. You won't get access to the recordings and the PowerPoint if you're not a member. And please share that sign up, the roundtable sign up with other people. I'd love to grow the community. So please think of 2 people that you can share this with, that you'd like to invite, friends or colleagues. Janet's asking, where do you sign up? The attendance link is in your is in the agenda, and I'll share those links in the chat throughout our workshop today. So you're going to be doing some small group work, and when you're doing that, I'll make sure to copy the links and put them in the chat. So participate, join the roundtable if you want to get the resources, share the sign up with other people, and also know that RSVPing for one meeting is different from signing up for the roundtable. So this is what the RSVP looks like for the individual meetings. And this is what the sign up looks like. Okay, and then mark your calendars. We have the dates set for the year. And next month is all about how to create a learning plan. So the thing we're going to do today is an overall plan. And then next month, we're going to talk about how to do a really fun, customized learning plan. So mark those dates down. They're also on the website. And notice that we alternate the meeting dates. So to include other time zones, I have had lots of requests from other time zones. Maybe one day there'll be an app that makes time zones much easier to juggle. But until then, we generally meet the 3rd, either Friday or Thursday of the month. And when we meet on Friday, those are the times there. And when we meet on Thursday, those are the times there. So I'm trying to include other time zones. Also, please drop me an email or put a comment in the chat. You can see only next month's topic, February, is set, and that's how to design a really cool customized learning plan. But all the other topics for the year are not set. So I would love to know around working with teams and technology and training and learning. What are the topics that you would like to see in these roundtables? So to summarize there, make the most of your time here today and participate. If you're a UN person, sign the attendance sheet. That's how you get credit for today. That link is in your agenda, and I'll also add it throughout our meeting today. Make sure you sign up to be a member, and please invite 2 other people today. Make sure you, I would invite you to share that link with 2 other friends or colleagues and invite them to join. Mark your calendars with the dates, and feel free to suggest topics. Okay, any questions before we jump into our topic today? Anything you're concerned about, any kind of housekeeping type of things, logistical things? You're welcome, Pippa. Okay, well then let's dive in. Here we go. So again, the plan today is how to create a plan, and how to create a plan that fits you, not your partner, not your colleagues necessarily, but something that's really customized to you. And really something that is exciting and energizing and engaging for you, that isn't dreary or boring, that really gives you a very broad, full perspective. So we're going to use my Life Lenses tool for that. And at the end, I'm really hoping that this invigorates you and refreshes you and helps you feel on track. So I want to start off with a little story. So imagine it is a hot Canadian prairie summer day, and I am a little girl. I'm about 4 years old. I'm in my Nana's house, my beloved, beloved, beloved Nana. And I remember the curtains were kind of open on the front window, and I could see the beams of sunlight coming in and kind of these little kind of dust motes dancing in the air. And I was so excited because she had let me play with her jewelry box. And I remember my little girl fingers just in this jewelry box, and I'm looking at all of these treasures, and I'm so excited. I'm so happy to be seeing my Nana because she lived very, very, very far away from me. And I remember her calling me for dinner, and I ran in this tiny, tiny little pink house. It was so tiny that in the community it was known as the doll house. And I remember running from one end of the house to the other, which was just a mere matter of steps, because dinner was ready. And I remember my socks kind of sliding on the linoleum floor, and I am sitting on the chair, and my feet don't touch the ground, and I'm kind of swinging them, and my back is to my Nana. And I remember turning around, and my Nana had disappeared. She was gone. And I remember my little girl, like, my jaw dropped, and I didn't know whether to be curious and excited or scared because I had no idea where my Nana was. And I took a little bit of a closer look. And if you see on the screen here, this is my Nana's actual kitchen from many, many, many years ago. And if you can see in the floor, there was a hidden trap door. And I didn't know this as a little girl. And she had pulled this brass ring that pulled up this hidden door, and she had gone down into the cellar. And I remember walking over and looking down into these bright red stairs that led to this really cool basement cellar where she was. And I tell you this story because I really want to impress upon you that a lot of times I think when we do planning, we can have kind of a narrow view. And what I really want you to do today is to really expand that view and find the magic that's really at the tip of your nose. So for me, that magic was really in front of me. There was this secret door there. So today we're going to kind of open some different doors. We're going to put on different lenses, 8 different lenses, to help you expand your view and create a really interesting, intriguing year for yourself. Okay, so I want you now, please, I invite you to take a look at this picture, which is a picture of lists. So it's a list, and I want you to pay attention to your reaction to this list. Okay, so you can even imagine you've got maybe a bunch of lists in front of you, and I'm going to turn on the annotations here. Okay, so you should be able to, if you go into your browser, you should be able to annotate. So I'm just going to give an example here. So please make a mark on one of these lines here, one of these rows. So when you think of lists, okay, lists and lists and lists, do you think, yay? And by the way, there's no wrong answer here. And I suspect that we're going to get a variety of different answers. Do you think, nah, I could take them, I could leave them? Or do you think, as one person's put here, ugh, like, no, they're not for me? So feel free to mark the screen there. When you think about lists, okay, someone's between meh and ugh, okay? Put a mark there. Oh, we've got a couple of yays, a bunch of yays, okay? Got a couple of uggs, okay? We've got a heart like that in the yay, okay? So anyone else, when you think about lists, what is your reaction? And there's no right or wrong. You cannot possibly get this wrong. I've got someone maybe starting at a yay and going to like, oh, Natalia, so if you go into your settings, you should be able to see annotate. Janet's saying ugh. So Natalia, you can also put your reaction and I can mark it for you if you like. Oh, Malcolm, you're on a tablet. Okay, so just you can, if you want to, in the chat. So Natalia's saying an UG. Okay, so I will mark an UG for you. Malcolm, you can let us know, and I can put that for you. Ainhua is saying I like. I like lists. When I create this, I put the chat over to the side so I can't see the whole thing. Mary's saying meh. Okay, so I'm going to mark that there. Irene is a yay. Okay, Audrey's a meh. We've got James is a yay. Okay, another yay from Andrej. Okay, so I have a love-hate relationship. Okay, Malcolm, I'm going to put a up to down here. Yeah. Okay, great. So, oh, and saying I like them, but have too many. Okay, great. So I am going to stop the, I'm going to just stop the annotation here. Okay, and I'm going to quickly take a screen grab, and I'll put this in the follow-up resources that you'll get if you're a member. Okay, and then to move on, I have to erase them. So let me just erase them here. Okay, and we, oh, oops, hang on here. Okay, great. And we have someone in the waiting room, so let me let in Anna. Welcome, Anna. Okay, so the reason why I did that is because we all have different ways of planning. We all have different reactions to planning. We all have, some of us will have many, many detailed lists, and that's a joy. That's a way of relaxing. That's a way of feeling organized. And for others, it's a way of feeling really, really constricted and, oh, get me out of here. So that's the point of today's workshop, is to really help you look at planning through 8 different lenses. And I love this saying from George Lucas. I just think it's so brilliant that your focus determines your reality. So my role today is to help you with 8 different ways to focus of creating a plan for you. And that's the gift of the life lenses. So we're gonna use those life lenses, and it's all about perspective, right? It's all about having a really full view. And I love this meme here, you know, that technically the glass is 100% full because the part that doesn't have water in it has air and, you know, oxygen. So think about using these different views to create a really robust, rich year for yourself. And as I'm going to do a really brief description of the life lenses, but I have a question for you first. Is it better to breathe in, or is it to breathe out? What's better? Is it better to breathe in or breathe out? Feel free to pop your answer in the chat there. So we've got lots of outs. Both are essential, says Danielle. Yeah. Welcome, Veronica. Both. Okay, great. I'm going to hold that question until the end of the workshop today, because there could very well be a curious and unusual answer to that question. So hang on to that for a while. In the meantime, know that I designed and trademarked the life lenses many years ago. Thousands of people have gone through this, and it's about increasing your ease, your strength, your adaptability, your resilience. You can use the life lenses to communicate better, to resolve conflict, to parent, to plan projects, to plan your year. Today, we're going to for planning, but there's all sorts of different ways to use them. They're really, really flexible. And I really want to caution you. So think of this in like blinking lights. We tend to see the positives in our lenses and the negatives in other people's lenses. So when I go through these lenses, which I'm going to start in just a few minutes, we'll go through each of the 8. You will probably like 4 of them better than the other 4. So they come in pairs, and there's probably going to be 4 that you're like, I like those. Those are cool. Those are interesting. Those are familiar to me. I like those. What I really, as Sunil saying in the chat, we need all 8. Absolutely. So make sure you pay attention. If I'm describing a lens and you're thinking, oh, that's kind of unusual or weird or awkward, that's where the gold is. That's where that magic trap door is. That's where the magic is in front of your nose. So again, if you're feeling like, oh, that's a bit unusual, really try to put some attention there, because there's gold in that perspective there. Also, the lenses are meant to be a frame, not a box. So they're not constrictive. They're on a continuum or a frame. They're not meant to box you in or be constricted. And just before we dive into them, I want to encourage you to keep it stupid simple. Okay, so it's really important to get down a plan, but also give yourself grace, get some ease, get some simplicity. Don't make things too complicated. We have enough stress on our plates these days. And record. Much research shows that if we have a plan and it's recorded somehow and we know where that plan is and we go back to it, we're much more likely to achieve what it is we're setting out to achieve. So I don't care if you audio record it or write it down or have it in a beautiful document on your computer, whatever works best for you, just make sure that you get it down. That's really important. So if you don't already, please have some pen and paper with you, or a way to take notes on your computer or your phone or your tablet, etc. That's really important. Okay, so there are 8 life lenses. I'm going to explain each one of them. Each one of them has a gift for planning a beautiful year. So I'll share that gift with you, and I'll share a tool from each of the lenses. You're going to come away with 8 different tools. And after I explain half of them, after I explain 4, I'm going to give you some time in small groups to work on them. Kirsten's saying, I'm opting out here and there. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. We've had super bad issues with our internet the last 2 days, but it was supposed to be fixed last night. So I apologize. I know that can be really frustrating. So let me know if I am out for a while and I can absolutely repeat. Okay, so can I get a thumbs up or a yay in the chat if you're ready to dive into the first 4 lenses? Are you ready to dive in? Okay, great. Just do a time check here. Okay, so here is the first one. And again, remember to pay attention to your reaction. When I describe this lens, pay attention to whether you're thinking, I've got that. That's me. That's familiar, or that is really unfamiliar, because the ones that feel unfamiliar to you are the ones that you may be at risk of leaving out those gifts. So make sure that you're incorporating all 8 of the lenses into your planning. Okay, first of the 8 lenses is our stop lenses. So the stop lenses, each lens has a different color and they look a different direction. So the stop lenses are red, obviously, for obvious reasons. And the stop lenses look inside, right? So their first reaction is to hit the brake. I want to pause. I want to reflect. I want to think. I want to ruminate. I want to research. Stop lenses are usually very aware of rules and procedures. They may not want to follow them, but they know what those are. On a bad day, they can miss opportunities or be pessimistic. You know, that analysis paralysis, that can be a stop lens on a bad day. You know, we can't take a decision. I can't move forward until I read 101 books and interview 50 people. And, you know, I'm exaggerating to make a point. But on a good day, stop lenses are really great at reflecting, pausing, thinking. A saying for a stop lens is caution is the parent of security. Caution is the parent of security. So when we think about the stop lenses and planning, the key questions that the stop lenses ask is they want you to reflect on last year. So before we move forward, we want you to think about last year. What did you do last year? And by the way, depending on the purpose of your planning, you might be planning for a team, you might be planning for your individual professional development, you might be planning for yourself personally, you might be planning with your partner or your children. So the questions will vary depending on what your purpose of your planning is. Sunil is saying, seems like a black hat. Yes. So if you know the 6 hats, yes, it's like a black hat. Sunil, I don't understand. That is conflicting with information. I'm not sure what that means. Feel free to fill that in there. So when you're planning, think about reflecting on your past. What were your, what did you do? What were the highlights, lowlights, etc.? And a tool that I put together for you, just a really simple, this is really, really simple. So if you think of this as your year last year, put this, you can quickly put this on a piece of paper, or you can create this. I will give you this PowerPoint if you are a member of the Roundtable, and you can fill it in then. However it works for you. Think about, what were your successes last year? What were the things that brought you joy, ease, that you feel really good about, that you want to celebrate? And what were the things that were so-so, not really super great and not super bad? And then what were the ugs? What were the things that were really, really challenging and difficult? So use that stop lens to look backwards, to reflect. Sunil saying, seems like another lens to me. So Sunil, feel free to add a bit more information there, because I'm not exactly sure what you mean there. In the meantime, we're going to go on to the second lens. So again, I'm going to describe 4, and then you can have some time in small groups to work on these. Okay, so our stop lenses look inside, because it's that rich interior life. Mountain lenses, the second of the 8 lenses, they look up. Okay, so imagine standing on a mountain. Mountain lenses are really good at seeing trends and seeing the big picture, right? They can see over that mountain, into the valleys and into the next mountains. They're really great at strategy. They're really good starters. They really like to start things. Just looking at the chat here. At the moment, we're describing pessimism and looking at optimism too. Oh yeah, so that's a really good point. So it can be, so a stop lens on a good day, is very reflective. On a bad day, they can be pessimistic. Yeah, that's on a bad day. So every lens has its good day and bad day. So on a good day, a mountain lens is visionary, big picture. They're very good at connecting concepts. If you ask a mountain lens to review a report, they would say things like, the concepts you discuss in the first third of the report aren't connected well to the bigger trends and concepts into the next section of the report. All right, so they're big picture, they're looking up. On a bad day, they can't see the trees for the forest. Oh, Malcolm, we were supposed to meet Thursday at 2. Oh, sorry, I thought we were meeting Monday at 9. Sorry, I got that wrong. Okay, so on a bad day, the mountains, they don't see the trees. So on a bad day, a stop lens is going to make a plan and then not do anything about the plan, right? They'll just be stuck in their paralysis. On a bad day, a mountain lens will have these big plans, but there won't be any details to them. On a good day, a stop lens is very reflective and brings in and reflects on the lessons from last year. And on a good day, the mountain has this wonderful vision that we're focused on for our plan for the new year. A saying for a mountain lens includes, if the vision is there, the means will follow. If the vision is there, the means will follow. So that's very mountain lens. Okay, so a key question then, the gift of the mountain lens when we're thinking about planning is, what's your purpose? What's your vision? What's your why? I did a specific roundtable on finding your why. So I will add that to the resources if that's something that if that's something that you haven't done. I'll add that to the Learning and Development member resources. And a simple way, so a tool to think about that, like your vision, your mission, is this lovely Venn diagram. I'd love to know, is this Venn diagram, have people seen this before? Just pop that in the chat. Is this familiar or no? Yes or no in the chat. So this lovely coming together. Oh, this is new for people. Okay, great. Oh, good. Okay. So if you can put these 4 things together, this is an incredible vision. So something that you love to do, something that the world needs, something that you get paid for. Now, this is in a professional sense. That might be different if you're doing this for personal, for your family, etc. And something you're really good at, right? So when you're thinking about your mission, your vision, your why, this can be a simple way to think about that. And again, I will give you some resources for members to find your why. If has anyone done the Simon Sinek work on finding your why? Just pop that in the chat. What's ikigai? I'm not sure what that means. Kristen has said ikigai. Okay, if you're really interested in this, Simon Sinek's work, which is what I used in my Learning and Development Roundtable, I'll share that resource with you. So I will make sure to make a note of that. It's fantastic. Oh, Sunil, the Japanese concept of happiness. Oh, I love that. Oh, and I love that more than one of you knows that. Oh, that's so good. So ikigai. Okay, I'm going to look that up. That's fantastic. Let's make a note here. If it doesn't get down on paper, remember the record. If it doesn't get written down, it doesn't happen. Okay, so we've done 2. Let's do 2 more, and then you can work in some small groups to make these real for you. So the stop lens looked inside, the mountain lens look up, the heart lens, the 3rd of our 8 lenses, looks to the intangible. So on a good day, heart lenses are so good. They're in touch with their intuition, they're in touch with their gut. They're very emotive, although don't make the mistake. People that aren't heart lenses sometimes assume that all that emotion is outward facing, and it's not necessarily. It can be a lot of it can be inside. Their color is yellow, and they're one of the lenses that really gets maligned a lot. So if you're a little uncomfortable with this, again, think about the gift that this lens, this perspective has to give, because each of the lenses have their gifts. On a bad day, heart lenses can ignore logic and just, that's not what my gut's telling me, and they can ignore the facts. A saying for a heart lens is, feelings or emotions are the universal language and are to be honored. They are the authentic expression of who you are at your deepest place. Maligned means, in the chat, disregarded, made fun of, just not respected, Oh, Sunil was saying, I'd prefer this to be red. Yeah, the reason why it's yellow is because red was taken for stop. Yeah, good comment there, Sunil. Yeah, you're welcome, Kristen. Okay, so for heart lenses, and again, we've gone through 3 now, so you will probably feel yourself pulled towards each of these lenses or pulled away from them. If you are pulled away, each lens has its opposite. So you'll probably be pulled towards its opposite. But if you are pulled away, that's where the gold is. That's where the gifts are that you might not normally use. So make sure that you're looking at all 8 of these perspectives. So the gift of the heart lens, the key question it's asking is, how do you want to feel? How do you want to feel in 2021? So I'm still working on my plan for this year. I know one of the things I want to feel is I want to feel light. I don't want to feel burdened, and I don't want to feel kind of crunched. I'm always feeling crunched for time. And so that's the gift of the heart lens for me when I'm using it. And then the practicality of that is the clutter. Letting go of 3 things of clutter each day has been, I don't know, how many days in, 22 days. It's been mind-blowingly remarkable. So that's just an example. So this is the one of the tools. So you could use many tools for each of these lenses. I've just done one, but one of them is from a remarkable book called Designing Your Life. Does anybody know that book? I'll put it in the member resources. Has anyone read that book, Designing Your Life? It was my favorite book to read in 2020. It is remarkable. It is a remarkable book. And in that book, the authors, who are really astounding. I think one of them is a Stanford prof, and like they're, hundreds of thousands of people. This is a best-selling book. It's amazing. They have this worksheet where you map. So you have this worksheet by you during the day, and when you're doing a task, you write down a task that you're doing. So for example, it could be taking a roundtable, participating in the roundtable. It could be writing a report. It could be whatever. And then you fill in these gauges. So how engaged are you from low to high? And you kind of fill that in. And then how much energy are you feeling when you're doing that task, from negative to positive? And then once you look at the tasks where your engagement was really high and your energy was really high, what you're trying to identify is the flow. So when you're in a state of flow, and what made you feel that way. So I'll link to the Designing Your Life book, and welcome, Samantha. And I'll also link to the worksheet, because I can do that ethically, because it's actually on their website. So I'll link to, you can download this worksheet. Kirsten's saying, any chance you could post a PDF of it with the, oh yeah. So I won't do the PDF. I'd love to draw the traffic to their website, Kirsten, but I downloaded this from their website, and you don't have to have read the book. So I will put that, I'll put that link there. Okay, so we are humming along. We've done stop, and we've done mountain, and we've done heart. So one more, and then I want to turn it over to you. Okay, is our destination lenses. Okay, so destination lenses, they look straight ahead. Okay, destinations love goals, outcomes, objectives. Let me tick that thing off my list. I want to get to my destination. Get that thing done. On a bad day, they can have blinders on, and they can be so focused at reaching the goal that they don't realize that it's the wrong goal. Okay, and it could be hard for them on a bad day to take those blinders off and switch tracks. Okay, so they're really focused on the what. What are we trying to achieve? A saying for a destination lens is, by prevailing over all obstacles and distractions, one may unfailingly arrive at his chosen goal or destination, which I'm throwing in a bit of humor there, because you can see the author of that quote is Christopher Columbus, who was nowhere near where he thought he was. So our destination lenses, where are you headed? Right? That's the key questions for that, the gift of the destination lens. What are your goals for 2021? right? We need to have some direction. We've talked about the big picture, our vision. We've reflected. We talked about how we want to feel. The key piece here is, what are your goals? And one way to do this is to write down your goals here. And again, I'll share this PowerPoint with you, so you can print it off and write right on it if you want. Is because sometimes, you know, goal setting is a whole other huge piece of work. And sometimes when we're setting goals, we can set them either too low or too high. And if we set them too high, then we have a hard time staying motivated. So sometimes what I'll do is create my goal. I'll put it here in the medium. So I'll create some goals for the year. And then I'll shrink those goals to the size of a molehill. Like, these goals are should be so simple to reach that if you don't reach those goals by the end of 2021, something has drastically gone wrong with you. So shrink them down, and then make them the size of Mount Everest. You know, make some ones that are just like really, wow, like this would really, really be knocking it out of the park. Okay, so those are our destination lenses. Okay, and we've got Dorcas is just joining us. Okay, so we have gone through, welcome Dorcas, so nice to have you here. So I want to give you some time to really bring these lenses to life. Okay, we've talked about 4 of them. The Stop Life lens, which is all about, welcome Susan, welcome Dorcas, which is all about reflection. The Mountain Life lens is all about the big picture, your vision, your mission, your why. The Heart lens is all about how you want to feel. And your Destination lens is all about your goals, your objectives. And again, before I divide you into groups to talk about these, I want to give you a caution. But when you're in your small group, pick 1 or 2 and discuss those lenses. Talk about how you can apply them, steps you can take to use those lenses, etc. So I do want to give you this caution again, because people have their favorites. They have their favorite lenses. And for our favorite lenses tend to be our own lenses. And we tend, as I said before, we tend to see the positive of those lenses and the negatives of other lenses. So make sure when you're talking about these lenses, try to guess which lenses you are, and then really try to focus on the lenses that aren't yours, right? That you wouldn't normally put those lenses on, because that's where the learning is. That's where we get a full picture. So Neil's saying, do you have a PDF summary of the lenses that you could post on the chat? I don't. Oh, that's a good question. I don't think I have that handy. That would have been a really good idea. What you can do is feel. Oops, sorry here. Feel free to take a screen grab of this. Actually, yeah, take a screen grab of this, and then you can refer to that. Feel free to do that if you wish. Okay, so I'm going to divide you into groups to talk about making these lenses come to life. And I'm going to give you about, so Christina, I can leave it up, but once you go into your small groups, I don't think you can see this screen. So let me think. You know what I'll do? Oh, sorry, I heard a question from someone. Oh, someone's unmuted themselves. What I will do is what will I do quickly? I don't know if I can quickly take a screen grab of this and then put it in the chat. I've never tried to do that before. Let me see if I can do that. Let's see here. Oh, hi, Susan. You were having some internet hitches. So your group can help you there. I'm just going to try to see if I can. No, I don't think I can attach a thing there. Okay, so just do your best. Hopefully you've been making notes. Remember what I was saying about recording. And I'm going to give you, I'll see how you're doing in 10 minutes. You can have more time if you need it, but I'll come and give you a heads up in 10 minutes and then see if you need, you can have up to 15 if you need it. Okay, let's put you into breakout rooms. When I put you into breakout rooms, you will need to accept the invitation that will pop up on your screen. If you don't accept the invitation, then you won't be put into a room. So make sure that you do that. Okay, and I'll give you a 1-minute warning when it's time to come back to the large group. Okay, here we go. Okay, welcome back, everyone. Thank you for your time in discussing the lenses, and know that this is a, it's kind of a lifelong journey, right? Figuring out where your comfort is, where the light shines on your radar, where is normal for you, and then where to shine in those places that doesn't feel so comfortable. So thank you for discussing 4 of the lenses. We're going to move on to 4 more, and then you'll have some more time to discuss. Kirsten's saying, thanking her group for the conversation. I deeply enjoyed it. That's great. I'm so glad. Hilda had some connection issues. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I do want to copy this here. I told you that I would give you some links. So there is the UN attendance sheet in the chat, the sign up, which please, I'm asking you to share with a couple of colleagues or friends. There's a link to the explanation page for the roundtable. And then we're going to do an action taking form in a little bit. So it's there as well. Okay, so are you ready to continue on with the next 4? Just give me a thumbs up if you're good to go in the chat with the final 4 lenses. Oh, and Jared is saying great conversation with Christina from New Zealand. Oh, great. I don't think I'll ever get over the magic of being able to connect with people all over the world. It still feels really cool. Okay, great. So our 5th lens is our journey lenses. And just as mountains look up and hearts look inward, for example, journey lenses look all around. So destinations look straight ahead, journey lenses look all around because they're focused on process. That's their whole goal, is the actual process. On a bad day, they don't get things done or accomplished because they're so focused on the process. And on a bad day, they can be rigid or inflexible if they're only using one type of process, or they're using a process that doesn't fit the context. A saying for a journey lens is, joy is found not in finishing an activity, but in doing it. And again, pay attention to if that makes you kind of light up or go, what do you mean? It's important to finish because this is our first pairing. So journey, the opposite of a journey lens is the destination lens. So you will likely feel more comfort with a journey lens or a destination lens. An example image here, I think I did a roundtable when we're doing some tech tools on how to put folders on your browser to help you access information really, really quickly, and then how to move into social bookmarking. Those are all kinds of process issues that help you then get your tasks done with more ease and with more efficiency. So the key question for a journey lens is, how are you going to reach those goals? You've created, or you're in the middle of creating some destination goals, some objectives for yourself. What processes do you need to put in place to make those happen? So a tool for a journey lens is I rewrote, with all respect to Einstein, I rewrote his theory of relativity. So think about where do you need to bring some ease and efficiency? Okay, if you could wave a magic wand and in areas that you're really struggling with ease and efficiency, that's the gift of the journey lens, because if you focus some attention there and get some processes in place, then you'll amp up your ease and efficiency. And one way to do that is through this redesign of Einstein's theory of relativity. So instead of instead of E equals mc squared, think of m plus c equals e squared, because there are a million places that you could put your focus to improve processes, but where are the ones that are going to give you the most bang for your buck? So think about, what are the things that are dragging you down that are really important to you? They really matter. So that could be, maybe you're consistently late and that's really important to you. Or maybe you can never find information, when you need it. Maybe your resources aren't well organized. Or maybe when you're submitting receipts for, income tax or for getting reimbursed to your organization, maybe that's really matters to you because it's just really, really important. Then think about, how consistently or constantly is that issue happening? So let's just take tax receipts. Well, that happens once a year, so that's not going to be super high on the consistently and the constantly. But maybe if you're late all the time, and that's a big issue, then it scores high on it really matters to you and it's happening constantly. So when you think of issues that really matter to you and they're happening frequently, those are the places where a journey lens can help you to really focus on process. So when you're using this journey lens for your year plan, again, think about, what are the process issues that really matter to you? They're happening constantly, they're consistently happening. And then how can you spend some time to implement some processes there? Any questions on that? That's a big one. I can give you a worksheet for that too. I'll put that in the, I'll give you an example. I'll give you for them, and again, this is for the learning and development members. This is a whole kind of process area that I work with clients with a lot. And what's really lovely is tech tools can really, really help with this a lot. Okay, so it doesn't look like there's questions there. Okay, so let's go on to our, what are we, 4 or 5? This is our 6th one. These are our head lenses. So they look to things that they can touch and taste and see, and their gift is logic, information, theory, research, things like that. On a bad day, the head lenses can miss important intangible things. They're not focused on their gut, on their intuition. They can be too, sometimes black and white, sometimes lack creativity. A saying for a head lens, facts are stubborn things, and whatever may be our wishes, our inclinations, or the dictates of our passions, they cannot alter the states of facts and evidence. And of course, the opposite to the head lens is the heart lens. So you will probably feel drawn to one or the other. And make sure that you include both in your planning. So when you're planning for 2021, think about, what information do you need for 2021? You've talked about your vision, you've talked about how you want to feel, your goals, etc. Now, how what information do you need to make that plan happen? And a tool for this one is a learning plan. So I'd love to know in the chat, who has created a learning plan for themselves for 2021? Who has created a learning plan for 2021? Anyone in the chat there, yes or no? So I've got to know. Can you show the previous again, says Beatrice? Yeah, absolutely. Let's go back to, whoops. So there's the head. Oh, Kirsten's saying waiting for February 18th. Great, good. Okay. Oh, okay. Andrea's just saying not a plan, but for sure objectives. Okay. Oh, that's so, I'm glad you brought that up. So the objectives is the destination. And then the headlands, their gift is what learning do you need for 2021? Yeah, and just to know, February 18th, the next, Malcolm has a tentative plan. That's great. For the next roundtable, February 18th, is all about creating a learning plan for yourselves and or your team. Christina, that's great that you're constantly learning how to plan. I encourage you, which is fantastic, and that's the most important piece. It's also important to be proactive, be deliberate, and put all of these, they're like a big puzzle, right? Put all these pieces together so that you're being strategic and deliberate about what you're learning and you have a plan. So if you haven't already, mark February 18th off. That's when I'll do a workshop on how to put together a learning plan. Okay, so our next one is our carrot life lenses. So our carrot lenses look down. Okay, head lenses look to things that are tangible, things they can see, taste, and touch. Carrot lenses look down because their gift is focus. Oh, carrots are brilliant at focusing. Remember, every lens has its good day, its bad day. On a good day, carrots are focused and details. They are great with details. They're the ones who remember all the colleagues' birthdays, the anniversaries, the things to celebrate, for example. They're great. They're so organized. They ask lots of questions. They're good finishers. And they like specificity. On a bad day, because every lens has its good day and its bad day, on a bad day, they can't see the forest. So their head is down, they're focused, and it can be difficult for them to get their head up. And on a bad day, they can focus on things that are not important, are trivial, and not strategic. So I always like to tell the story. I was working on a date stamped proposal and we didn't know if we were going to get this proposal in time and everyone was stressed and we printed it off. This was, we had to deliver a hard copy and I stapled the package together and my supervisor got really upset. Now she was a carrot on a bad day. So she was focused on something that was unimportant or trivial. Any guesses what that was? On a bad day, carrots focus on things that are not important, not strategic, are trivial. What about this staple could have bothered her that was not important? Lindsay's saying a staple instead of a paper clip. So the staple was fine. It was totally fine. It's a great guess. Direction. Yes, Evelyn's saying direction. Absolutely. So in her world, because remember, carrot on a bad day, focused on things that are not important, not strategic. She wanted that staple to be parallel to the top of the page, and I had put it on an angle. Right? So that's a great example of a carrot on a bad day. Form over substance, yeah. Okay, a saying for a carrot: success in any endeavor requires single-minded attention to detail and total concentration. Now, this is another example of a mirror opposite. So carrot's mirror opposite is its mountain. Remember the saying was, some of the sayings were go big or go home. If the means is there, or if the vision is there, the means will follow. So very different ways to look at the world. So the key question for the carrot, because now you've got your big vision, you've got your learning, you've got how you want to feel, you've got your objectives, etc. You've got your learning plan, is what are the details that you need to make that all work, right? This is where you get really, really specific. So for a carrot lens, they're so good at these details. So I encourage you, the tool here to use this lens is make a list of detailed questions. So without this lens, you may not be specific in your plan enough. And we know that plans that aren't specific don't have a much less chance of happening, of getting carried out. So throw some ideas in the chat there. What could be a question, a specific detail that you would need for your plan? What would be a question that you could ask yourself, a detail that you would need for your 2021 plan? And while you're thinking about that, I'll give you an example. So for example, I decided, as I mentioned at the beginning, that I wanted to learn how to play a keyboard this year, which felt really big and exciting, but also a little bit overwhelming. So one of the details, and this is really simple, right? Remember I said KISS, K-I-S-S, keep it stupid simple. I just Googled what's the best app to teach people how to play a keyboard. So that really specific detail has helped me practice for like just 10, 15 minutes every day. So super, super simple detail. Any other details, any other questions that you could ask yourself that would help you get to your details? Any examples in the chat there? Kirsten saying, what are the milestones? By when? Tangible outputs. Yeah, fantastic, Kirsten. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So this will help you know if you're on track or off track. Just speaking of which, I'm just doing a time check here. Okay, so again, keep this simple. The gift of the carrot lens is to keep it specific. Okay, our last one is our Go Life lenses. So their mere opposite, as you can guess, is the stop lens, which looks inside, internal reflection. The Go lens looks outside. So, oh, and by the way, Jared has asked, what are the means, with whom, when, exactly? Yeah, exactly, for the carrot lens there. So Go lenses can be spontaneous on a good day. They are doer. Their first inclination is not to step on the brake, but to step on the gas. They are geared for action. They want to do something. They want to take action. On a bad day, they can be impulsive or even reckless. They can do that leap before they look. They can get into trouble. They can break rules, you know, all those kinds of things on a bad day. A saying for a Go lens is every blade of grass has an angel bending over it, whispering, grow. So I love to end on the lenses with the Go lens, because of course the plan isn't going, it's just a lovely document unless you actually do something about it. So the key questions from a Go lens is, what do you need to do to set everything in motion? And specifically, what is your first step? So I would love, I'm just going to repaste these links here. You'll see the very first link is an action taking form. So I'm going to stop sharing just for a second here, and I'm going to head over to that form. So feel free to click on that link and just take a second. You'll see there's just, you can enter your action steps there. You can put your name if you want to, but you don't have to. And what I'll do is I'll show you the responses. So just take a minute now, really be kind to yourself, be gentle, give yourself grace, be playful, and just really brainstorm I've put enough space for 3, but even if you just get what's the very first step, and make it easy for yourself so that you can actually achieve it. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing here. I'm going to go over to that document. And you'll be able to see these. You'll be able to see these resources. I've set it so that you should be able to see the responses when you fill it in. So let me just share the screen here again. Okay, so you'll see that I've already filled it in. And something super achievable. What's my first action step? I put filling in this form, right? The second action step, I have a really in-depth document going back, I don't know, 10, 15 years, where I kind of have the same review process. It took a long time to get it set up, but once it's set up, it's easy to fill in. So I need to do that for 2020 and add 2020's information to it. So that's on my list to do, I think, next week. And then I have my 2021 goals, but once I review the 2020, I just need to update them. So feel free to fill that in there. I'll just give you a minute. I'd love to see someone's first action step there. I don't know if this updates in real time. Let's just see here. Oh, whoops. I was talking to someone else on the call who's having a terrible time with internet with Zuku, which has definitely been an issue for us here too. Huh. I had this preloaded, but I wanted to just check if there was any updates. Okay, maybe what I'll do is I'm going to go back to our let's go back to the screen here. Okay, because it's time to spend with each other again. So I would love to give you some more time in small groups, because there's so much wisdom in the group here, and pick one of these lenses, 2 if you have time, and talk about how you can use those lenses in your plan. So I'll put this summary in the chat like I did before. Or rather in the small group room, so you'll have this. So we talked about the journey lens. It's all about the process, the how. The head lenses is information, research, your learning plan. Carrot life lenses are the details, and the go lens is taking action. So please also take a moment to fill in that form, even if you just get one action step down. I'd love to know what you have there. Oh, Janet, yeah, you just, for some people, yeah, so you're asking how to take the, get onto the action form. So I'll just put that on its own there. So if you just click on that link, sometimes the links aren't clickable. So if you just copy it and paste it into your browser, feel free. So, okay, so I'm going to divide you up into groups. Once again, I just want to say, you're welcome, Janet. I just want to say you will be naturally skilled, naturally have strengths in 4 of the lenses that are your own lenses. Just make sure that you also pay attention to the other lenses, because each of the lenses have gifts to give. And if you look through all 8 lenses, you'll have a really robust, complete plan for 2021. Okay, so let me, I'm just going to pause the recording here. Okay, welcome back from your small group work. Thank you for participating in that. And apologies, it seems like I had given the summary, but not everyone got those in the messages, so I resent that there. Okay, can everyone hear me? Okay, just give me a yes in the chat there. Just let me know that you can hear me, okay? Just put a yes in the chat if you can hear me, okay? Okay, great. Okay, good. Okay, so thank you. You have had a quick tour of the lenses, and my intention is to have given you an introduction and to them. And there's lots of different ways to use them. We just use them one way, which was for planning, but I use them for parenting all the time. For example, I have one stop kid and one go kid. I use them for communication, for conflict resolution, for evaluating programs, for team building, all sorts of things. So I just wanted to kind of summarize them and then turn it back over to you for any questions or what your next action steps are before we close out for our time together today. So know that the mountain lenses, again, big picture, they look up. Mountain lenses are great at discussing big concepts, big picture, vision, trends. They're great at making connections. Our carrot lenses are great at details. They're focus. They look down. Destination lenses are great at creating goals, outcomes, objectives, etc. And journey life lenses are all about process. Our stop lenses are all about reflection, thinking, researching, taking our time, etc. Our go lenses press on that gas. Let's try, let's experiment, let's jump in. Head lenses are all about learning, information, research, frameworks, etc. And finally, our heart lenses are all about feelings and intuition and paying attention to our guts. Pippa's asking, do you find there's a good sequence for going through these tools? Is it more effective to do one before the other? Yes, I'm very journey. That's great. I've kind of put a natural sequence. I think it's probably good to follow the sequence that I've introduced them. And the most important thing is that you use all of them. Because you'll probably be drawn to 4 and not so much to the other 4. So the most important thing is that you make sure that you use them all. So Pippa, for you, for example, you're going to shine and be really strong and naturally gifted at the journey. You may need to focus a little bit harder to make sure that you get that destination in. Evelyn, yes, the summary is going to be shared. So as long as you're a member of the roundtable, you'll get all of these resources. You'll get the recordings, you'll get the PowerPoint, all of that there. And I'm just putting the summary in the sign up in the chat there. Okay. So this is a quick summary of where they look. Mountains look up. You know, on a bad day, mountains have their head in the cloud. Carrots, they look down. On a bad day, they have their head in the sand. Stop lenses look inside. On a bad day, analysis paralysis. Go lenses look out. On a bad day, reckless. Destination lenses look ahead. On a bad day, they have blinders on and are going towards a goal that it doesn't make sense to go any, and they can have a hard time shifting. Journey lenses look around, right? They're all focused on process. On a bad day, they don't get anything done because they're not focused on a goal. Our head lenses look to what's tangible. On a bad day, they miss the intangible, and our heart lenses look to what's intangible. And on a bad day, they ignore the facts. Jared's saying, yes, all of them, and they help me know where I need to improve on blind spots. Yes, so that's a really good point, Jared. So we want to make sure that you're focusing on your strengths, and it's sometimes not always about improving where you need to improve as where you need to collaborate. So if you're a really strong carrot lens, because one of the things we didn't go into today is that all of these lenses, you can be kind of that lens or really that lens. Those are called tweeners and extremers. So particularly if you're really, really strong in that lens, it can be good to find a colleague, a friend, a family member, etc., who is the other lens, and they can help you with that. So think about that as well. Okay, so as we shift in, this is just another quick summary. I've gone over this a couple times. I wanted to ask you, I started at asking you at the beginning, is it better to breathe in or breathe out? But why do we actually breathe in? Feel free to put that in the chat. Why do we breathe in? Why do we take a big breath? Why do we take a breath? I'm quite serious about this question. I know it might seem a bit obvious, but my answer might surprise you. So Mary's saying to get oxygen for the blood so you can breathe out, Kate says. To energize ourselves, says Anna. To bring life, says Janet. Yeah, we actually technically, Sarah's saying to start over, to live, to pause. Yeah, we actually breathe in because our body has recognized we have too much CO2, too much carbon dioxide in our blood. Now, why the heck am I bringing that up? I love this example. So it's the body's level of CO2 that kicks in the need to breathe in oxygen. So it's the opposite of oxygen that initiates the need to take a breath. And I love that example so much because it applies to the life lenses, especially when we're stressed, especially when we're tense, especially when we're rushed or busy or upset or angry or embarrassed or hurt. We can fall into the trap of believing that our lenses are the best. And not only are they the best, but everyone else should join me where I am with my lenses. That misses, it's natural and normal, but it misses the gifts of the other lens. So we need that CO2 to tell us to breathe in oxygen. So I really encourage you to think about other, to think about diversity, to think about those other lenses, and then you'll get this really beautiful, robust, inclusive plan. So we've talked about a lot of stuff. We did a lot of exercises for your plan. I'm hoping that you can tailor this to make it really unique for yourself, and that you get excited about it and you're not thinking about, oh, this is something that I have to do, but it's something you want to do. I'm hoping that you give all attention to all of the lenses, the ones that feel normal and natural and comfortable, and the ones that feel a little awkward or unusual. And I'm hoping that you're going away feeling refreshed and invigorated and on track for a really great 2021. I'd love to know what are the lenses that you think you are? Feel free to pop those in the chat. What are the lenses that you're most comfortable with, that you feel strong in? What are the lenses that you feel, yeah, I think that's my, those are one of my lenses. Feel free to put that in the chat. Please. So James is saying stop. Mary's saying head. Great. Kate saying thanks, Leanne. Definitely has gotten more excited. Oh, good. More excited. Looking forward to 2021. Awesome. Yay. Yay, you. Lindsay saying a discussion we had in our group is that we are more comfortable with some lenses in personal life and others in professional life. Oh, Lindsay, that's a whole other topic of the lenses, but just really quickly, some of you will be very aligned in your work, in your organizational culture, in your family, in your passport country, and some of you will be different. So that's definitely something that we work on in terms of intercultural work with the lenses. Evelyn saying destination, we've got to go, journey, destination, lots of destinations. Okay. Sarah saying stop and journey. Okay, great. So in terms of action steps, if you are a UN staff and you want to get credit for this, make sure you fill in that attendance sheet today. That needs to be done today. Please, I'll pop this in the chat again. If you want to get those resources, I send them all out next week. The video, the audio recording, the PowerPoint, all of those, you get access to 8+ years, but you do need to be a member. And please, I'm asking you, one of my important goals for 2021 is I really want to grow our community, and I really rely on you to do that. So if you found value in today, please invite 2 other friends or colleagues to join us, and you can just share that link with them. Mark your calendars for those dates. February 18th is our next one. And feel free to send me an email if you have ideas for topics. I would love, love, love to hear from you. How can I serve you? How can I best be of service with the roundtable here? That's what the membership sign up looks like. And again, I will send you the PowerPoint, the audio and video, all the resources. And I made a note of some other resources there. So thank you for your time. Irene and Janet and Ilias, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate the hard work that you're doing. I hope that this has been helpful for creating a really wonderful year for 2021. The world needs more of all the special skills and strengths and assets that you have. Thank you, Malcolm. Thank you, Jared. So delighted to have you here. And I really hope to see you February 18th for the Learning Plan workshop. So have a good rest of your morning or afternoon or evening. I know some of you, it's the middle of the night. Stay safe, stay well, stay creative, and hope to see you next month, February 18th.